But of course we hate Galatasaray. It's one of the biggest derbies in the world, my opinion, and they're our biggest rival.
The rivalry is so strong, even their friends who support Galatasaray become targets on Derby Day.
Well, 10 years ago I had friends from my university and we were, good friends. They were Galatasaray fans and I could see them perfectly because they would split the stadium into two halves. And I could just see them perfectly, my friends, and I lit one of those flares and I threw it exactly on my friends, I could have burnt them, they could have lost an eye. I didn't think about it at the time. So during those times, there's no oxygen, going into your brain.
This is the violence that happens between friends, but some of the past battles between these rivals have been like all-out war.
From night to morning, you can fight with Galatasaray fan, also police. It was...
Non-stop action.
And many people injured, maybe died.
Their biggest battles have been with Galatasaray, but they often fight against the police.
This season, two big fights in our area. The police used the gas and the jaw.
Pepper spray. If you're gonna go to away game, then
the police...
90% you might get a stick or pepper spray. We are very used to pepper spray now. It's like breath mint now.
Breath mints. I think I'll stick to polos. These guys seem to have no fear, so I asked them about the injuries they've got.
Well, I have some injuries. Of course, stones on the head. It's always a nice story here in Turkish terraces. In 2001, against Samsunspor, it was our championship game. And people were throwing stones at us. One of them pulled up the sink, the big china. And it broke on my head and I had to have stitches. But so many people were injured from both sides. When it was my turn to get stitches, the guy at the ambulance said, we're sorry, sir, there's no more stitches, no more needles left to stitch you up. So I had to watch the game like that, with my head half open. We watched the game, we became the champions, and I came back to Istanbul like that. I had stitches, and then I went back celebrating.
Volkan was injured when he tried to confront the ex-Liverpool player Graham Souness, who used to be the manager of Galatasaray.
In 1996, the Souness came our stadium and
He planted the flag.
Souness had been insulted by Fenerbahce, so when Galatasaray beat Fenerbahce, Souness planted the Galatasaray flag in the centre of the pitch, which enraged the Fenerbahce fans.
I tried to run the flag, but suddenly the big police dog beat me.
Yeah, he beat you.
Then after beat me, I shouted. I was angry. The police and the 10 police came and shot me by Joe at the same time.
Souness misjudged the passion of the fans and actually endangered his life.
It was a very stupid thing to do. And what was he thinking, really? And he really, really had to run for his life.
And with Souness, we want to see him anywhere, especially in Fenerbahce.
Definitely, I want to see him again too.
Because he made a big mistake.
Souness left Galatasaray that season, but Fenerbahce fans wanted revenge for the flag planting incident.
2 years later, or 4 years later, one guy is a crazy guy in Fenerbahce, guys. We say Rambo.
His nickname is Rambo.
Rambo! He's crazy. Definitely crazy. He's a report from the doctor.
Yeah.
Allah belanı versin sana. Allah haricinde kimse gelse tutamaz beni.
Rambo is a hero to the Fenerbahce fans. Like them, he found Souness's actions hard to take. So on the eve of their opening game of the season, he broke into Galatasaray's stadium. He hid in the advertising hoardings armed with a Fenerbahce flag and a large kebab knife.
And the moment it was kickoff time, he cuts it open with his knife. He runs towards the stadium. And it was the opening game of Galatasaray, so it was 25,000 fans. He scares off the Galatasaray players with a knife. he plants the flag, and he didn't let anybody come near the flag because he had a knife.
Rambo shows how the Turkish passion for football can be all-consuming.
Ona göre sesleniyorum yani tüm Fenerbahçe düşman olan kişiler sesleniyorum. Akıllarına başlarına devşirsinler. Akıllı olsunlar, mermi manyağı yaparım, başka da bir şey yapmam yani. Alamursa Kral Fenerbahçe.
You don't want to mix some of the most passionate fans in world football with knives. It's not a good idea.
Well, knife culture is in the Turkish culture. It doesn't have to be in football. Two guys can fight over anything, and sometimes, you know, knives start talking.
The Fener boys open the eyes to the deadly mix of knives and revenge. Most British teams and fans get a hostile reception when they come to Turkey. There's been a bit of history between us. The troubles go back to 1993 when Man United played Galatasaray. Over 170 English fans were arrested and deported before the game even started. Trouble flared on the pitch after Cantona lashed out at a Turkish player. This is the Chelsea team welcome when they came to play Galatasaray in 1999. But the worst event was in April 2000, when Leeds and Galatasaray fans clashed here in Istanbul. This can be a dangerous place for English fans, and if you don't know the customs in Turkey, it could cost you your life. I'm going to the area of the bloody clash between Brits and Galatasaray. I'm in the heart of Galatasaray territory, and I'm heading for Taksim Square. This square represents two faces of Turkish football. First, the growing reputation of Turkish football standards, but also the increasing violent reputation of the fans. So it was here that when Turkey reached the 2002 World Cup semi-finals, everyone came to celebrate, watch the match on big screens. It was also here. Two Leeds fans were stabbed to death in 2000. I'm in the area where the two Leeds fans were killed on the day before their team were due to play a UEFA Cup semi-final match against Galatasaray. Christopher Loftus and Kevin Spate met their deaths here outside McDonald's. The two men were innocent fans, not hooligans. They just had the terrible misfortune to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. There'd been scuffles earlier in the day. Turks claimed that drunken Leeds fans were being rowdy and mooning passers-by. But the worst trouble flared here. Leeds fans leaving this pub were attacked with iron bars, hatchets and knives. Christopher and Kevin got caught up in this carnage. Christopher Loftus was stabbed in the heart and lay dying in the street.